Hey, good morning, folks. Got Cardo Dudley Jr. here. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. If we're talking to you in the morning about the Mystics, that means that they're on the West Coast. They took on the Aces last night. Wasn't a good night for Washington. Aces essentially got their leg back from the game out here in D.C., where Washington really had them in a bind for nearly three quarters, but couldn't get it done in the fourth. That was not the case in this one for Las Vegas. They got stops early. They got out and ran. Washington was a little bit more shorthanded. We know they've been shorthanded. They had Stephanie Dawson to the list of players that was out. So that was essentially what their fourth starter. If you want to think about what their lineup was to start the season, 4 of their 5 starters were out last night. That said, the Aces looked like the Aces last night. Cardell, your thoughts on this one? Get to
it. Champs sending a message that the close game in DC was, fluke, just off night. Champs doing what champs do. They're starting to get it rolling now as they get healthier. Midway through the season, they're starting to put their foot on the gas, so to speak, a little bit more. The Mystics pretty much lost the game second and third quarter. Second quarter they were outscored by 10. And then the third quarter, the Aces just took it to them, outscored them by 15. And, hey, man, it ain't really much to say after that, man. That's a 28-point lead because you got outscored by 3 in the first. At the end of 3, they were up 28. But what's most disheartening about the Mystics, even though they were shorthanded, no Dolson, obviously no Shakir, Brittany been out for most of the season, was they got bullied inside. We're just going to call it like it is. And you would think, well, Asia must have had like 30 or something. No, the guards did it. The guards were getting past people. They were getting in the paint and scoring that well. And then the rare times that they did miss, Asia cleaned it up. It wasn't a rocket science or chess type of game, man. It was just very simple. And it was just energy and effort that the Mystics didn't bring once they got down. And that's rare for them this season, even though their record is bad. Normally they'll compete and then lose it at the end, the very end, of a couple turnovers, or they just can't score or whatnot, or lack of execution at the end. No, not tonight. They got punched in the mouth and didn't get back up, and that's disheartening, especially considering what they're fighting for right now, who they're playing, the champs. You should be up to play the champs. You shouldn't be looking at it as like, man, we down key people. Outside, I guess, Adkins and Shatori and Melbourne, those are only 3 that played like, we can still win this. Everybody else was kind of like, I don't know, hopefully. And you saw that type of energy in the second, third quarter, and that's why, they got smacked. Mystics were outscored 46-24 in the paint. This Aces shot nearly 60% from the field, nearly 50% from 3. Didn't miss a free throw, and I rebounded them 36-28. Had more assists, 31-23. Only negative for the Aces is they turned the ball over 19 times. That's it. That's on. Other than that, it was just a beat down in every aspect. And you look at it, like I said, Asia just had, for her standards, she had a pedestrian night. 18, 9-4, 3 steals, 3 blocks on 9-12 because she didn't need to even get aggressive. Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young took care of all of that. They combined for 48 points. 2 players in the backcourt combined for 50. And you're wounded in the front court with the best player in the game in the front court. And the backcourt destroys you. You see, that's what I mean by they didn't show up as a team. They didn't. You know what I mean? And watching the game, it wasn't hard. They get Adkins off you and attack whoever. Simple. And this screams like, this is the first game where it kind of screams like, ready for this break. And eyeing potentially lottery bound season, and that's disheartening because we're used to this team having, even though they may struggle being around 500, they at least have championship level fight. And you didn't see that last night.
Yeah, this is one of those simple ones. It's really cut and dries everything that you already just laid out. Even just looking forward is Want to see that fight that they've had most of the season that you were talking about come Saturday. It's a quick turnaround. You're taking on another very good team in Minnesota. Hopefully Fees gets better soon. I know she went down in the last game, and she's, I know you said numerous times you had a vote that was your MVP for this year. So hopefully they get her back to health. There's a lot of, Washington's not the only team with injuries in the W this year, but yeah, that was the thing. What they're missing in their front court. It wasn't supposed to be the back court, the perimeter players that did this. That was the biggest thing. If Asia goes nuclear, you know what? You tip your cap and go, you missing 6'5", 6'6". It is what it is, and a rookie and Maisha down there, right? Like, cool. But Jackie Young, credit to her. She's every time she's seen the Mystics this year, it's been on site for her. She's been very aggressive. And Kelsey Plum did not have a good game when they were here in Washington. She definitely fixed that last night. And to a bigger point, when they were in Washington, Chelsea Gray and Tiffany Hayes had to do a little bit more because of the type of defense Washington was playing. That wasn't the case in this one. Chelsea Gray was kind of quiet, came, did what she had to do. But like you said, Plum and Young led the way. Asia did what Asia did on as pedestrian as 18-9, 3-3 sounds. Just credit to the Aces for doing. Since Chelsea's been back, they've been slowly rounding back into form. Washington caught them on upswing. For Washington, it's about getting right against Minnesota. You got Minnesota on Saturday. Then I think a few days off. Then I think it's the Fever before you come back home to see these same Aces.
Go ahead, man.
I was just saying, like, I think a couple episodes Outlook ago, you were talking about how key this stretch is leading into that break, because obviously there is the some optimism on the other side of the break that you come back more whole that you've been since the start of this season, right? But you got to make sure you still kind of have, what was it, before last night there were 3 games out of 8th. You got to make sure you're not 8 games out of 8th going into the break. Got to give yourself some wiggle room for that other side of it. But go ahead.
They also got to get healthy, man. They really got to get healthy. I'm not sure. Obviously, health stuff is kind of confidential. It's kind of private. Obviously, it should be, but they got to find a way to get healthy, man. We literally have not seen this team healthy pretty much at all. And with them healthy, they still have, they don't have that much room for error. They just don't. So you need everybody healthy. It's just tough. It's tough to see this. You know what I mean? Just to see the the struggles, the beat down, man. Because we knew it would kind of be tough, but not like 5 and 16 tough. We thought maybe a couple games under 500 all season fighting for a playoff spot, but I just didn't like the energy and effort, man. You got pros. And this is what we kind of talk about when people come around, the draft come around, and you got players trying to either get in the league for the first time or trying to stick, and then big name players from college or international ball, and they don't cut it and stuff like that. And then people are like, "How you cut them, man?" They keep holding on to these veterans stuff. It's because of moments like this when the staff and the front office look back, and fringe players or players who just trying to find a way to make their name in the W don't provide the energy and stuff like that. Like, you see what I'm saying? I don't care if you're down by 50, still compete. You still got to compete if you want to stay. You know what I mean? Like, it's just facts. You can't. I mean, I'm not gonna call out names outside the league because she's a rookie and she had to deal with Asia or whatnot. What was the excuses for these other vets, man? And like, they just basically get significant minutes and not really do much. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, my thing is this, man. If you're gonna go down swinging. Go. Don't leave no bullets in the clip, man. You might as well go all out. Why? You know what I'm saying? Because if that's the case, you don't even show up. Could have saved everybody some time and just stayed at home. That's what was tough, man. And truthfully, the game was over at halftime. It shouldn't have been. I understand you're on the road against the champs. I understand they're getting healthy. I understand they're getting back in rhythm. I get that, but you got to compete harder, man. You got to compete. That shit. I mean, I don't care if you're coaching a little grassroots team, little elementary school team, or whatever, rec league team. You shouldn't have to coach effort, let alone at the highest level of basketball. So that's what most disheartening. They got to change that quick. Like, we should never have to question the team overall effort. There's certain players, like I said, Atkins, Shatori, Ainsley always, she always bring in Melbourne. She may not shoot the ball, but she always in hustle mode, giving everything you got. That's what I mean. You do whatever you got to do to compete and make them feel you, because you don't know. It may just go your way, but you shouldn't have to coach effort at the professional level, especially when you get a nice check that a lot of people in this world would love to get. And it's not about money, but still, that's a nice incentive to help you play hard and remind you that this is a job and you should care about your job and compete. And they didn't do that last night as a team.
Hey, man, well said. And that's the, like you said, as tough as this year's been, that hasn't been a common theme. That's why it's so jarring seeing it last night. Be like, this is the squad. I think prior to this game, I think the game against Seattle in that early road trip, earlier in the season, I think might have been the only before this game was the only stinker that I think they've had all year. This makes two. Obviously, two stinkers in the season. Big picture, life goes on, but like you said, the limited room for error because of the health is why this is jarring. Is why they can't afford this. Is why this can't spread over into Saturday. You just can't afford it because of you coming into every fight, bro, and you're handicapped because of the injuries. Like, just keep it cut and dry, keeping it simple. You're not able to put your best foot forward every night because you start behind the eight ball. Credit to that second unit last night, because they did fight. And I think Shatori back-to-back good games on this trip. She's been very assertive and aggressive. Both ends. You brought up Enxler, who's throughout this season, little by little, get more minutes. She's, again, the effort's not an issue with her. And Melbourne's activity is crazy. Soon as she gets in something, there's going to be at least 3 effort plays where you're just like, all right. She's out there. Yeah.
You don't got to worry about her.
Good, bad, or different. Like, she's going to be doing something. So I'm anxious to see how they respond come Saturday. But as always, player of the game.
Oh, man. I know Plum went off, man. So I might just have – but Jackie Young, she did it all. She carried it. She dominated 20, 10 to 5, 20 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds, 3 turnovers, 8 of 15. I'm going to roll her all around impact. She controlled the game, defended, rebounded, found Plum. She did it all.
I'm going to echo everything you said and just add to the point. This is the second game in a row against the Mystics where Jackie Young's literally set the tone for the Aces. Regardless of whatever, the rest of the group, when they got going, there was a stretch in that game against in the game here in DC. And when she was going toe-to-toe with the Mystics in the first quarter before the Aces got going last night, she got off on that front foot again. And then everyone, and then the group got going once again much sooner in this one. But, Jackie Young, and she's been quietly having a damn good year over there all year. X factor.
Yeah, Kelsey Plum, 28, 10 to 13, Jesus. 10 to 13 from the field, 6 to 9 from deep. She was that 18 to 3 run that pretty much ended it in the second quarter. That was her. She was bombing them. And when somebody highlight that, you already got Jackie going. You already got to worry about Asia, period. You know what I mean? It just opens the floor, and that's why they're the champs. It's just hard to guard when they got it clicking like that. And the sad thing is, like I said, they didn't even really go nuclear. They just responded to what the Mystics didn't do and just made them pay. They kept it very efficient. Get them up out of here. Let's keep them moving. And you should never want to be that team where a team just treats you like that. Like, yeah, let's just dominate them. They don't want to play. Let's dominate them. Get them up out of here. Move on to the next one. You got to make them feel you and respect you. And the Mystics didn't do that this one. It's a complete different outlook from this. no pun intended, from the last game when the Aces were here in DC.
No, I mean, you're totally right. It was just two polar opposite feelings coming out of those games. Out of one in DC, you're like, damn, they were out there swinging with the champs. You would have loved for them to get it done, but the champs out executed them late. Like, you could live with that. How things went last night, it's tough to accept that, especially we've been giving them credit all year for how well they've done mentally staying with things despite how everything's been going, which is why that was disheartening. Again, I'm anxious to see the response come Saturday, and yeah, with Kelsey playing my X factor, no doubt, man. Jackie plus 25, Kelsey plus 29. Look, man. Look, sometimes the numbers, the numbers are the numbers, man. So shout out to the Aces for that. For Washington, look, again, going bigger picture, it's essentially a extended 4-game road trip. You 1-1 on a road trip. All right, big picture, 1-1 on a road trip. Saturday, we want to see how you respond on Saturday.
Especially with no fees. Yeah, you got to come on. You got to get that. Damn sure play harder than you did against the Aces.
We know what we'll be looking for in that game come Saturday. We'll talk to you guys after that one. I appreciate you guys as always for tuning in. We'll see y'all then.